Monday, mock draft Tuesday, mock draft Friday. We mock draft all the time. So it's mock draft day every day here at the Fantasy Football Show. So if you're ready to mock draft, I'm ready to mock draft. Let's get to mock drafting, but let's hit that intro.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. I'm Smitty.
Yo, welcome to the show. I appreciate all of you joining me for another episode of the Fantasy Football Show with your man, Smitty. We are mock drafting today, right now. So get your mock draft excitement on. I'm going to drop a link in the chat, so before you say, can I get in, the answer is yes, you can get in. It's up to you. But the spots go like that. It's literally 11 seconds, 8 seconds, and all the spots get grabbed. But I've got good news. I'm doing more than one. We'll probably do two. They're not going to be long because why mock draft into the 15th round? I don't do that. That's boring. I don't want my replay viewers that watch this back when it's not live go, this is boring, the most boring mock draft I've ever... Like, I hate that content. Like, it's 5 rounds and out when it comes to the Fantasy Football Show and our mock drafting. We don't screw around. Where's my comments? I haven't said hi to any of you. Where's my comments? Here we go. Jose, appreciate you. Noah, what's up? Corey, let's go. First time to skip. Noah, don't skip class. Dried Ocean. Get your degree, Noah. Get your education, Noah. I'm so shocked that you're still in college. Brett, what's up? Yank, what's up? Jack, what's up? Michael, what's up? Therapist, what's going on? Ball's Life, what's up? Impasta, Keaton, Brett, I think I said Corey, Andrew, Elgin, Brett, Dried Ocean, Rob, Noah was first. Fantasy first, school second. What's up, Jarrett? Jarrett Frank in the house. All right, we're going to be mock drafting. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Settings will be 30 seconds, 12 teams. PPR, we're not doing Dynasty. And roster, assume that it's a normal 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, a flex, a tight end. But we're only going to go 5 rounds, so don't take a look at that roster setting later because it won't be relevant. Let me grab the link, copy the link, and get ready to paste thy link. I think I'm going to draft from the 6th spot this time. And let me switch over to that mode. And if you don't know, this right here is my site, smitty1.com, which I just dropped last night. So you've got sleeperu.com, you've got thefantasyfootballshow.com sends you to this YouTube channel. And now you have smitty1.com, which is where you can kind of find all my content. So if you go to SleeperU, you know, you're going to get your news, your content, your rankings, your bold predictions, but you don't necessarily get a handle of what, you know, where my Discord is, where my show is, how to get one-on-one advice, all my social handles. This is like a landing page of Smitty. Smitty1.com. My most recent show will always be on the homepage, and the links for everything will be all around. So know that. And make sure, before we start, you're getting your news from me. This is your news right here, your fantasy news. Okay? All sortable, based on Dynasty, based on outlooks. Oh, let's look at outlooks. Let's look at only rookies. What news wire that do you know of that has that? And we added polls to sleeperu.com, so if you have a tough decision on your hands, you can submit a request to have your poll posted for hundreds of people to vote on it. And let's just vote on this quick one real quick. Jonathan Taylor over James Robinson. Give me Taylor. Give me Taylor. Taylor's winning by, he's got 35 votes to James Robinson's 4. So now you know. SleeperU.com, Smitty1.com. The link is in my possession. I will be posting thy link right now. I have to get into my, I'll put it in the YouTube app here. Hold on. Ready? Posting the link in 10, 9, 8, 7, 3. I'm trying to copy the link. Hold on. Countdown. Stop the countdown. Copy link. Hold on. I'm trying to paste it between my phone. Come on, Apple. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Pin message. Let's watch how quickly this thing fills up. Delay. There's always a 5-second delay. Dried Ocean. Noah. Frake is in the house. Kyle. I don't know how to say some of your names. Damon. Jack B. 3 spots left. Nelly. Kyle jumps to the 12 spot. 2 spots left. Victor takes 1, and 1985 takes the last spot. We're ready to roll. It's go time. Start the draft. Begin the draft. Boom. Commence. Christian McCaffrey goes 1.1. Big surprise. I understand if you want to take Henry there. I understand if you want to take Kamara. I even understand if you want to take, a couple other guys like Dalvin Cook. Pretty much is going to be that group of guys. Some people might even say Devonta Adams, and you know what? I'm not gonna rip on anybody for liking any of that. But I think Christian McCaffrey had a lot of lingering injuries, and we could look at it a couple different ways. If we look at it from the perspective of none of them were, big time injuries. It was like Alvin Kamara last year. If you would have taken your concern about Alvin Kamara last year and brought that into 20 or the year prior and brought it into 2020, you would have missed out on Alvin Kamara. Barkley, I'm going to go Adams here. So Henry's off the board, Kamara, Cook. I'm going to go Adams here. I like me some Devonta Adams, baby, at 1.6. And I've drafted mostly running backs in the mock so far because I've had like a 1 through 5 pick, or I've had 11 or 12. I don't think I've drafted from the 1.6 for 2021 yet. So I kind of like dropping the Devonta Adams and seeing what I can build from this draft slot. Now, reminder to all the viewers before they get all upset and say, hey, this mock draft sucks. It's 30 seconds is pretty quick. And when you mix in not only 30 seconds, you mix in the fact that the pre-rank lists are like somebody took them and knocked them upside down, dropped all the names out of a hat, scooped them up real quick, put some of them in order, and then put them all back in the hat. That's what this draft list is like. Like DK's way down there. James Robinson's like number 20th or something on the running back list. So cut everybody some slack. What's up, JP? JP number 2. All right, so Adams I took at 1.6. Elliott went 1.7. Let me start over. McCaffrey went 1.1. Cook, Kamara, Henry, Saquon. Then I took Adams at 1.6. Elliott 1.7. I don't blame you. 1.8 Patrick Mahomes is a little bit early, Victor. Not because I don't think he can earn that, bro, but you could get him at your 2.5. I would say 8 times, if not 9 times. Sometimes people will say 10 times out of 10, bro. It just depends on your group of people you're drafting with. But 8 times out of 10 in most draft scenarios with most leagues, most people, most human beings, the average human being, bro, is not gonna take Mahomes before your 2.5. So now, if you get the same guy you would have got here at 2.5 that you would have maybe took at 1.8, then it's all good. But I'm just saying, No way you need to be taking Mahomes at 1.8. Not in a 1 QB league. If this was a 2 QB league, you'd see 3 quarterbacks in the first round, probably minimum. So Mahomes went 1.8. 1.9 went Tyreek Hill. Nick Chubb went 110. Eckler, Jonathan Taylor. The bookend picks you took, Kyle, Taylor, and J-Rob. I like it. DK, Kelsey, Aaron Jones, and now Victor's on the clock. Victor took Joe Mixon. That leaves me with either DeAndre Hopkins or Mike Thomas. I like that. And I don't know if there's another player hiding on this ranking list. So jacked up. So jacked up. That leaves me D-Hop. I'm happy with D-Hop. The problem is I don't have a running back yet. But let's try out the wide receiver. Let's try that on for size. Adams, Hopkins. I feel pretty good. I'm scoring a lot of points. I don't know what my running back situation is going to look like, but I like that, broskies. Elliott and Thomas is a pretty cool stack. J-Pot. We'll call you J-Pot. Because we already got a JP, so we can't really call you JP. We'll call you J-Pot, unless that is JP. Diggs going. See, look, Diggs was hiding down there in the rankings. Diggs is a fantastic 2.8, and we should all feel responsible for letting Diggs drop to 2.8, but this ranking list is really jacked up. Come on, Smitty. I wanted the Adams. Sorry, James. Noah doesn't like the Mahomes pick. Either does Therapist. Victor playing around. 0 running back. AK. Yes, I'm going 0 running back, baby. Ridley's a great pick, too. Kittle. I think Kittle's dangerous in the second round in a bad way. I'm not saying he isn't also dangerous in a good way. He is. I mean, he's got upside, no question about it. But Kittle worries me. I don't know if Kittle is staying healthy. I don't know. I worry about Georgie boy staying healthy. That guy plays so aggressive. You know, his heart. He plays with his heart, man. And he gets caught up a lot, gets hit by multiple people while he's trying to get that extra half a yard. And it's going to get him hurt. Jefferson dropping to 2.12. I think Jefferson's going to go higher than that comes August, September. If you do another, I will try as hard as I can. Okay, hype. I will do another so you can try and get in. How do you not take Diggs? I don't know, Ryan. How do you not take Diggs? I love Diggs. Well, how do I not take Diggs over Hopkins? I think Hopkins and Diggs could be argued. And like I told you, the rankings list was so jacked up. Diggs wasn't even on the list, man. DK's not on the list. Diggs isn't on the list. James Robinson's like not on the list. Like how you supposed to find these guys in 30 seconds? Hopkins so overrated. Dude, he was like 3 or 4 for wide receivers last year. What do you mean he's overrated? How can you say that, Noah? I can understand not wanting to take him over Diggs. You like Diggs better. I can understand you taking Ridley over Hopkins. Like if you're respectful about it. But it's not respectful to my boy DeAndre when you say DeAndre's overrated at number 3 or 4 or 5, depending on your league scoring. I got to get ready for my next pick because this is getting bad. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you son of a Frake. Okay, is Smitty taking Miles Sanders? Oh no, I'm gonna take David Montgomery. Don't at me. David Montgomery finished like number 4 in some of my scoring formats. I don't know about you guys, but I thought about Miles Sanders or David Montgomery there. But David Montgomery is dropping loads. He was dropping loads on his way out of 2020 fantasy football. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling like all that D-Mont hype that I was brewing and stirring over and over in 2019, just getting ready for his breakout season, and then he dropped a big deuce right on all of our laps. I'm kind of feeling like we were right. David Montgomery finishing number 4 or 5 for all running backs in 2020 is actually head-scratchingly awesome, and I feel really good about him as my 3rd drafted player. No, Smitty always hated Monty. Who hated Monty? Not me. Noah's new to my content this year or something. I don't know. Claudio. Antonio Gibson. Look at those 4 straight running backs for Kyle. 1 wide receiver. No, treat this like a normal draft. Just like 2 running back, 2 wide receiver flex. We're only going 5 rounds just for sake of making it go fast. You've taken Dobbins over Monty. Maybe in one league I would, in one league I wouldn't, just to mix things up. Don't put all my eggs in one basket. What's up, Jack? I see you, Jack. In the chat. Kareem Hunt. Look at Kyle hogging all the running backs. Kyle, that's not right, bro. Okay, let's review some of these teams. Actually, we'll do that after I draft because I need to figure out who I'm going to draft. Oh, man. What running backs are left? I might have to go wide receiver again. I may have to go wide receiver. I may have to go quarterback. I may have to go... Oh, Waller's gone. Son of a bee. Okay, I'm on deck. J-Pot is up. J-Pot, who you taking? Because who you take depends on whether I go Josh Allen, maybe. Let me add Josh Allen to my queue so I can do this quickly. Do I go Drake or do I go Allen? Drake or Allen? Do I fill my running back spot? I'm just going to go best player available. I'm going best play. I'm doing it. I'm doing it live. Best player available. Look at that. Josh Allen. That team would score a lot of points. Adams, Hopkins, Monty, and Josh Allen. Dried Ocean says he wanted Allen. Running back, but not Drake, says Chen. Grossman said take Drake. Blows my mind that Mahomes is in the first round. I think maybe Victor was kind of screwing around there. Look at the quarterback run I created. Justin Herbert, Jackson, Deshaun Watson. Let me guess, A-Rod next. 4 straight quarterbacks. Dak Prescott. Non-stop quarterbacks. Yeah, the running backs suck. Although, there could be 1 or 2 hiding, bro. Don't worry, Jenkins. We're doing one more. We're doing one more mock. Starting a QB run. Are you not losing anything? I'm not, because since my pick, only 1 player's been drafted that I need. So QB runs are great. Take a QB, Jack. Do it. Don't leave A-Rod out there, Jack. Oh, you got Kyler. Take A-Rod anyway, Jack. He timed out. Maybe he got Woods. Okay. Where's my music? Okay, let's go over these teams. Christian McCaffrey at the 1 pick. Jefferson, Kyler, Gaskin, Woods. Not bad. I like it. Dalvin Cook, Keenan Allen, Carson, Dak, CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb. And that's pretty decent value. I think I hate when people take them too high. I like that. That's decent value. McLaurin, I like that pick too for Dried Ocean, who has Kamara from the 3 spot. Ridley, Josh Jacobs. Don't like that pick. You know that. You know that, Dried Ocean. Deshaun or McLaurin. And McLaurin. I like that team. I'm on the clock here in about a second or 2. David Johnson's a tough one to crack, you know, because he's got potential. Deontay. Okay, so now I get my same guy. I get Kenyon, baby, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people doubting Kenyon Drake, and for good darn reason. Absolutely. No reason you should not be alarmed and worried if you have Kenyon Drake as your number 2 running back in certain scenarios, but when you go heavy wide receiver and QB shopping early on like I did, Kenyon Drake's a fine running back, too, because I'm taking him like mid-5th round, you know? So, back to the 3rd overall pick. Kamara, Ridley, Josh Jacobs, Deshaun Watson, Terry McLaurin. It's a good team, but I just don't like the Jacobs pick. If you would have swapped that player out with like a Montgomery or a JK or even a Miles Sanders or a Swift or a Gibson, I would have liked it way more than the Jacobs pick. Henry, George Kittle, Clyde, Lamar, Thielen. Frank, that's a quietly understated top 5 team. Saquon, Diggs, JK, Herbert, Deontay, Noah. Not a bad team. Top 6. Devontae Adams. I know I love my teams a lot. I know it's like the common theme. Oh, Smitty always loves his team. But I love my team. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, David Montgomery, Josh Allen, Kenyon Drake. I've drafted better 2021 teams before. I'm not saying this is my best team. But from the 6th spot, and given what I don't think I passed on anybody I regret passing on. Diggs and Ridley, I like kind of just as much as Hopkins. So even though based on this pre-rank list and how the players are hiding in it because it's not updated at all, I still like Hopkins as much as Diggs or Ridley, so I didn't make a mistake there. But I will admit, Diggs is hiding, Ridley's hiding, DK and James Robinson are hiding in the rankings because they didn't update them. So know that when we draft next. We're doing one more draft. But I like it. I don't think I made a mistake at any turn. David Montgomery and Drake are pretty darn good running backs considering it's a wide receiver approach. Give me top 5. Elliott, Mike Thomas, Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay, Russell Wilson. I think, one thing in your team that you drafted here has to like pop off and be one of those huge breakout years, and you need both Thomas and Elliott to bounce back, all of which is possible. Russell Wilson could have a better year in 2021. So you just need a lot of things to line up for this team to be top 5, and it would be if all those things do line up. Now, for a team that completely reached and punted on ADP, using ADP to your advantage. You punted using ADP to your advantage, Victor. You still got a good team. I don't love Mixon, but Mahomes, Mixon, Sanders, Godwin, Andrews is pretty good, dude. That's like a top 7 team. So surprised that looks better than it does. Next team, Tyreek Hill. This is the 1.9. Aaron Jones, Swift, Waller, A-Rod, very understated. Sneaky good top 6-7 team. We're running out of top 6-7 spots though. Nick Chubb, Kelsey, Julio, Amari, Evans. I like it. There's a lot of good teams. It's hard not to like that team though. But there are so many good teams here. Eckler, I don't like him in the first round in 2021. You're going to hear about why. There's just too much risk. I like him at a later range, but he kind of worries me in terms of staying healthy. I think he could be absolute fire with Justin Herbert with a whole offseason to prepare. So he's a great fit. He's a great running back for that offense, and he could ball out. But I just worry about him staying healthy. I worry about him being there when you need him all, year long. So DK, AJ Brown, Kareem Hunt. I like some of this team 85, but I would love to know what your team like. If you had a Taylor, I would love this team. If you'd have taken Taylor, it would have been an amazing squad, bro. Kyle, DJ Moore ain't a bad wide receiver 2 in a very crazy build like this. You go running back, running back, but that's I don't like this team as much as I would have if you'd just taken a wide receiver at 4.1 or 4 point, and your 4th and 5th rounds picks. If you would have gone a different route, like Mike Evans would have been a better pick over DJ Moore there, and if you would have taken let's say Mike Evans and even like a Thielen or Mike Evans and McLaurin and Mike Evans would have made this team pretty cool, pretty scary. All right, we're going to delete this draft and start a new mock draft. I'll take the 3 spot. I'll copy the link. And let me paste it in. Get ready. The link is dropping. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at it fill up. I was still looking down and we're full. that was like a record for how many people we have on the live right now. Only 81 people in the room right now. That was a record for 81 people. And now come all the, I didn't get in. Here they go. Okay, begin the draft. We're doing it live. 23's on the clock. Your app crashed. Sorry, Claudio. We'll do this more. Don't worry. What's up, Open 24? We'll do this more, Claudio. Claudio, I'm gonna do this like 2 or 3 times a week, so you're good, man. We'll be fine. And I might do one on IG tonight. So Jenkins, get your notifications turned on. I might do a draft on IG live, holding my phone. Okay. Barkley, McCaffrey. Give me Alvin Kamara here. Are you worried about Drew Brees, Smitty? No. I mean, a little bit. Like, is he better off with Brees in the lineup? Yeah, but I think they proved, the Saints, that they can run the ball and not, that they can feed Kamara the right kind of workload on the ground versus giving him everything through the air. And on top of that, like, even with a disappointing, like, last half of the month for Kamara, where people were like, his receptions aren't there, the dude still had, he had 81 receptions for 3 straight years, and the dude still had, he broke that streak of 81, and he had 84, 85 receptions. What did Kamara have this year? 2020, 83. So in a year where he's supposed to not get any receiving work, he had 81, 81, 81, 83. How do you not consider this guy the number 3 overall? Look at that. 81, 81, 81, and 83 receptions. And back-to-back-to-back-to-back seasons for Alvin Kamara. And I think everybody's a little bit too judgmental of this Saints situation when it comes to Taysom Hill and how Taysom's not going to throw the football to Alvin Kamara, or Kamara's going to get phased out. Keep in mind that when Brees went down, who went into the lineup? Winston, not Taysom, because Taysom was their backup in their mind, but they wanted to use him on the field all over the place, further proving he deserved multiple position tags. All you multiple position tag haters out there. But they wanted to use Taysom Hill over the field. So when Brees was healthy, they didn't want to waste away his talent on the bench. So he played tight end, running back, occasional quarterback, wildcat. And then when Brees went down, they couldn't put him in the lineup because Taysom wasn't prepared. So they put Winston in. They finished the game. The next week, they announced Taysom Hill the starter. Now, what does that tell you? That Taysom Hill wasn't prepared enough to come into the game to take over for Brees. How could he know the offense all that well? How could he have all the plays down? The plays that feed Alvin Kamara the amount of work he needs to be that 80 to 90 reception guy. How is the expectation that Taysom Hill walks in, if he couldn't even enter the game as the backup the week Brees went down? He's going to come in that next week and just start shoveling passes over to Alvin Kamara like he's Drew Brees? No. He needs time. He needs a whole offseason to prepare, learn the playbook, be comfortable in the system, and start finding Alvin Kamara in spots all over the field. They will get in a groove in terms of that quarterback and receiver relationship that Kamara and Taysom Hill need to develop, the rapport. But he did sprinkle passes all over the field for Mike Thomas. Yeah, I mean, touchdowns weren't necessarily there, but he's throwing the football to Mike Thomas. We know he can throw the football. We know he can laser lock onto somebody. I'm pretty confident that with an entire offseason, we're going to see Taysom Hill learn how to play football with Alvin Kamara in that passing game, in that passing attack. But what we learned also, though, is from this last game where Alvin Kamara ran for 3 touchdowns and 150 whatever he had on the ground. What did he have that week? Alvin Kamara, 155. So 155 and just had a monster game. He had 3 receptions in that game. His 155 3 TD game, he had 3 receptions. He can survive on the ground if they feed him properly. Oh man, who do I go here? I think I have to take DK. This is a steal. Alvin Kamara, DK. If I could drop my mic, I would drop my mic. That's a great start. Saquon and who? Who are you going to pair, J-Pot? 1A23, who are you going to pair with your Christian McCaffrey? Anyone know to participate in one of these mocks right now? Drew, I dropped the link in the chat. It goes in like 8 to 12 seconds, all the spots. So you gotta grab them quick. Dalvin Cook and Mahomes, I like that, Klein. David at number 1.6. I like Adams and Monty. That's not bad. Monty you can get in the 3rd round, though. So, you know, you may want to see if he'll fall. Now, that could change with an offseason of mock drafting, but Damon, Hopkins, and Elliott, I like it. Chubb and Mike Thomas. I'm not a huge Chubb at 1.8 guy, but I still like that squad, bro. I mean, you could argue Mike Thomas at 1.8 and Chubb at 2.5. So, I mean, that's why that works for you. Taylor. Oh, I'm on the clock. Man, I'm going to time out here. I don't know if I like that pick. I was timing out. I just grabbed the guy I felt comfortable with. I feel like there's somebody buried on this list. I'm going to be pissed that I didn't take, because this pre-rank list is like so jacked up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if did James Robinson go? Yes, he did, because he's hiding on here. And sometimes you'll see James Robinson like fall to the top of the 3rd round because we don't see him on the rankings list. I don't mind Gibson. I like Gibson a lot, but AJ Brown I thought about here. But I've been going running back, wide receiver. I haven't been taking my running backs early in these mock drafts with you guys, so I wanted to force a running back on that one. So I sorted to running back, and I just picked the top one based on what I saw in front of me. I almost went Miles Sanders. You guys are going to be shocked that I might believe in Miles Sanders as long as they get rid of Peterson. Now, a lot of people say that's not going to happen. They're not going to get rid of Peterson, but there's a lot of animosity brewing in that locker room. I would not be surprised at all if Peterson is removed. If they get rid of Peterson, they cut the cord, they say, look, we need to head in a different direction. The team isn't behind him. The team doesn't want to be behind this guy. And he doesn't make good decisions. I don't care about, he's, this far removed from a Super Bowl appearance, whatever. Peterson didn't want to put faith in his quarterback, his rising star quarterback, who everybody loved one moment, and now everybody's hating on him. Like, he won't even be the starter next year. Jalen Hurts sucks. You guys that are saying that, and I'm not necessarily talking to my audience, but people that say that, they loved him the week prior. He was the most talked about player in fantasy football heading into that week 16. And the dude did not drop the best game possible. That is true. That is accurate. And everybody and their mother's like, he's garbage. He's garbage. He's not going to come back. Look, Jalen Hurts, if set up properly, if believed in by his coaching staff, if they get a wide receiver, especially if they draft Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase, which they can do, and everyone's going to say, but they need offensive line. Who cares? Figure that out later in the draft. Figure that out in free agency. Figure that out in a trade using Carson Wentz, maybe? Figure that out. Don't go spending a pick on an O-lineman when you have a franchise difference maker in Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase. You pair one of those guys with Jalen Hurts, and you're going to see a connection that's going to excite fantasy football owners for a decade. Jamar Chase from Jalen Hurts, but I predict Jamar Chase gets reunited with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. How you like that? And that Smith goes to the Eagles and gets paired with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts' value will go through the roof, and everyone's going to be back on the Jalen Hurts train. I'm a friend on your sleeper. I am in the draft, says Toby. All right, Toby. Klein. Klein has the KC stack going with the Mahomes and Clyde. He's got Dalvin Cook. I like the team. If you land this pick right here, Clyde was a little risky. Clyde would be a great fourth rounder, but I like Clyde still. I still believe in him. If you land this pick right here, Klein, you're going to have a great team. Underrated team. Don't screw it up, Klein. Don't screw it up, Klein. You're on the clock. 5 seconds. You're going to time out, Klein. You timed out, Klein. Amari Cooper.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
Okay. Do I go Evans? Do I go Godwin? I know there's somebody probably better buried on these rankings. Drake, Kareem Hunt. I don't know how I feel about this team. I mean, Kamara, DK, Gibson, Godwin, it could score some points. I was timing out. I didn't know what to do. You guys are taking all the QBs. I thought, I'm not forcing that. I like the team, though. Smitty, it's Goose. It's Goose. It's Goose. J-Pot on the clock. You know who's underrated? And it makes me want to take him right here, but I don't know that I want to double stack the triple stack again, is Mike Evans. He's getting no love for a double-digit 1,000-yard season. Screw it. I'm double stacking the triple stamp again. I'm triple stamping the double stamp. Whatever. I don't care. I like it. I mean, it's my number 2 and my number 3 wide receiver. These aren't my number 1 and number 2 wide receivers. This is my number 2 and my number 3 wide receiver. I'm okay with this risk of having both players in the same team. Lamar Jackson was already taken. Oh, you mean the pick before? Yeah, I suppose I could add Lamar and Evans, and I would have liked that. That would have been good. But I could have got A-Rod. I could maybe still get like an A-Rod later. Could get a Russell Wilson, a Deshaun Watson. There's still some quarterbacks there. But I like the team. I like it. Having DK as my top wide receiver, and having Godwin and Evans as my 2 and 3, and then Gibson and Kamara, I'd definitely take that. Raheem Mostert, I don't know if I trust Steven right now. All right, let's review these teams. 23 as McCaffrey, Jefferson, Allen, Thielen, and Drake. Not bad. I wouldn't call it top 4, but I'd say you're in the mix for at least being in the top, 5 to 7, with 1 or 2 things blowing up for you, like if, Drake has that top 10 running back season for you, you will be in the mix for a top 5 team. J-Pot, Barkley, A-Rob, Kittle, Lamar, Hunt. Not bad. I think A-Rod's a little bit of a reach, J-Pot. I mean, I know he's disrespected and undervalued every year, but I think his ADP will not be right there, so you probably could have waited. But you could have took Kittle at 2.11 and it wouldn't have been like that crazy, and then taken J-Rob. So it ended up working out. But I think if you had a different player there, like a Justin Jefferson or I don't know. I mean, there aren't a lot. That is a arguable place for Allen Robinson in terms of where receivers went. But Kamara, DK, Gibson, Chris Godwin, Evans. I put myself in the top 5, but not like 1. I don't know that I would say that my team stands out more than some of these teams that are right in that top 4 as well. Henry, Ridley, JK, Lamb, Ayuk, pretty solid. Cook, Mahomes, Clyde, Cooper, Andrews, solid, but could have been absolute boss, bro, Klein, if you didn't time out with Amari. Amari, he's okay. That's not a bad pick. I mean, I don't know that there are that much better options that you could have got. I mean, Amari's good. Probably would rather have Godwin, but Godwin's got risk too. David has Adams, Monty, Waller, Kyler, Galladay, pretty undervalued team there. Damon has Elliott, Hopkins, Keenan, Gaskin, Watson, solid. Chubb, MT, Swift, Hubert, and Claypool. Like it. Taylor, Eckler, Sanders, Carson. Kyle with the running back. Kyle. I like where your head's at. Like, you want to consume the running backs. Maybe you trade like a beast, man. Maybe you trade, with your league every year, and you turn Carson and Miles Sanders into like, Adams, who got drafted in the first round or something like that. But you can't always just go in with a set plan of taking running backs only. Like, I could tell you're doing that, Kyle. It's running backs only for you, no matter who's on the clock. Mike Thomas, Hopkins, Ridley, DK, these are all better players than Eckler, in my opinion. Safer than Eckler. Eckler's good. Eckler could be as good as Mike Thomas or Hopkins. He could. But the problem is, it's a lot more likely that he's going to have some bumps in the road and miss a couple of games and play like that at times. I wouldn't take that chance just to get the running back. Take the best player. If I can help you at all, because Kyle, you have some good instincts. The players you're taking I like. But if you can kind of hone in on the best player available approach with your style and your innate instinct for picking good players, Kyle, you could be unstoppable, young man. You're Kyle, 21. You can do anything. Noah, James Robinson, Diggs, AJ Brown, Deontay. Noah's taking Deontay over and over and over. Noah, I know how to piss you off in upcoming leagues and drafts. You take Deontay from you, you're going to get upset. You're going to scream at me. You're going to get mad. I know you missed class, so I'm not going to pick on you too much because I appreciate your loyalty to the show, but you should be in class right now. Good team. I like it. T has Aaron Jones too high. We don't know where he's going to land, but even if we assume he lands somewhere solid, he's a volume, TD dependent guy. If he gets more work in the running game with his new team, then he could earn that. But I think I'd rather see you take him a little later. The worst part, though, is you paired him with another risky avoid for me. I like Aaron Jones. I just avoid him that high. I avoid him even at 2.2. So both your guys, Jacobs and Aaron Jones, I avoid at those spots. It's just way too high. You had Tyreek Hill available. You had Kelsey available. You had, you could say Mike Thomas avoid. I get it if you want to go that route. Hopkins was there. DK, Ridley, even though they went way far down, they shouldn't have. They're deserving of that. Jacobs is a huge risk. Watch my video on why to avoid Jacobs. It's like one of the most recent ones, if not the recent one. What's up, Cobbin? Dylan, AJ Dylan. Steven, I don't know where I'm grabbing Dylan yet. I'll answer some questions in 1 second. Dak, McLaurin, Julio, Jacobs, Aaron Jones. T, we can get you into a better place with the next mock draft than that team. Tyreek, Kelsey, Akers, Joe Mixon. I like Joe Mixon in the 4th. That's pretty late. And you're almost talking... Yeah, that's the top of the 4th. I don't like Akers that high. Even though Akers has upside, I get it. There's a lot of downside and risk as well as your 3rd drafted player. I love the Kelsey Tyreek stack. I just think you could have gone a couple different places with the 2nd and 3rd round and 4th round picks the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They could have made your team fire. but I like your early thinking on this. That is going to do the mock drafting for today, ladies and gentlemen. But it doesn't mean I can't answer some questions real quick. And subscribe to the show if you're new. First and foremost, Ocean's team is money. Yeah, I like the Ocean's team. I think we had a lot of money teams. Okay, question time. Hit me with it. How do you value Fuller in Dynasty? I avoid him. I mean, if he's there at a reasonable spot, which he probably won't be because he had such a good year, before getting suspended. I think I don't know. I think I just don't draft him in 2021. I think he's going to go too high. But could he be an elite wide receiver 3? Yeah, could. Would I take him as my high-end wide receiver 2? No. I'd rather bank on another guy like Golladay, who's got a lot of risk too, but risk I'm willing to accept over drafting a Fuller. So there are guys that I would go take over Fuller before, and then somebody would probably grab him at that point. So I probably won't own Fuller in 2021. What should we do with Judy and Rager in Dynasty? Rager, I'm not a big fan of, never was. I think he's a Ruggs type. I think Ruggs is never going to be, an elite fantasy guy. He's just a very talented, athletic player that can make big plays, be like a Deshaun Jackson, have big plays, but then never really be consistent or stay healthy, whatever. Judy, on the other hand, Russ, I don't know why you're posing this question as if, and maybe you aren't, maybe I'm reading it wrong, Russ, and for that I'll take a lap, but it's almost like you're talking about him at the same, from the same perspective and angle you are Rager, which is a place of doubt. Like, Judy looks great, and yeah, he didn't progress as fast as Jefferson did, but his quarterback situation was way worse. His situation was way worse too. Judy could be a top 10 wide receiver, bro. Don't give up on Jerry Judy. I love him a lot. He looks so good. He might be on the Bull predictions list this year, so just know that. Kamara or Cook? I took Kamara first in this mock draft, as you see. Let me put it back up. So, you know my answer. But you could argue both. I think the reason I probably went the direction I went with Kamara is, from what I explained in the pick, is that Kamara is protected, I think, better than people think, into a massive amount of volume with no real big injury risk, whereas Cook is also protected into a bunch of volume but has a whole bunch of injury risk. And if you disagree with that because he stayed healthy, I urge you to go back and kind of look at news and stuff like that throughout the year, because there are plenty of times where he went down and we were all just like completely holding our breath, and then he went back in the game. There were multiple times all year where Cook literally looked like he was done for a couple weeks, and then he found a way to get back on the field. And he missed one game, but the good thing about both of these guys, Kamara and Cook, is you really can't go wrong. And if I was at the 3 pick, and let's say McCaffrey and Barkley both went 1.1 and 1.2, just like in this draft, or if you want to say Henry, so if we went McCaffrey, Henry, that's how it typically I think will go in most drafts. And so at 1.3, I'd be tempted to go Kamara in one and Cook in the other. So I'm not hating on Cook at all. I'm just saying why I might take Kamara over him, just over one spot, is because Cook feels like he could get hurt at any moment. I felt that way all year, even though I loved what he was doing. And I drafted Cook in like half of my leagues, which was one of my no-nos. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I couldn't resist. Why? Because most of my drafts happened when Cook was in his holdout. And I got Cook at number 6, 7, 9, 10. Like, you talk about putting eggs in your basket. Like, I was filling my basket up with Dalvin Cook eggs, bro. Like, I walked into 2020 with breaking my number one rule like a mother. I broke that shot 10 times over. I owned him in like 10 leagues out of like 18. I think over 50% of my leagues I owned Dalvin Cook. Broke my own rule. But the exception was I draft early so all of you can watch me draft and get good insight by who I'm taking. And what good does it do to watch me draft in September or late August when you have already had your draft? I sacrifice for you. I draft for you. That means I draft in March. So be it. I don't care. I love drafting early. I'll draft in any of my redraft leagues right now. I love when someone tells me that that's dumb, or why would you draft early? Someone can get hurt. Put on your big boy pants and draft like a man, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You're worried about drafting in January or February or March because someone could get hurt? Give me a break. Predict some things. Like, everybody's playing by the same rule there. Everybody's player could get hurt. The advantage you have every minute you draft earlier than normal, you have an advantage over your entire league if you're consuming content. If you're watching my channel here in January for 2021 content, you clearly are in a position of consuming information from the get-go, from the jump. And if you're consuming information from the jump with me on the show right now, you have an advantage over Bob from accounting and Bill from finance and everybody else that plays in your league that does last second magazine drafting, and you're consuming this stuff like last year, getting the DK Metcalf drafting done before his value climbs, grabbing AJ Brown over and over before his value climbs. That's the advantage of drafting early if you know what you're doing. And back on the point, what was it, Kamara, Cook? I don't know what I was even saying. I get sidetracked like a mofo. But my main point here, Elgin, is to say that if you draft a super handcuff backup for both of these guys, unfortunately, they both have one. And so does McCaffrey. Mike Davis is now a super handcuff. Mike Davis, McCaffrey, Henry doesn't have one. Henry is a bigger risk than all of those guys because Alvin Kamara, Lat Murray guarantee you top 10 running back numbers, maybe top 5 to 10. Definitely top 5 when Kamara's in there. But you might get top 5 to 7 running back numbers with Lat Murray in the lineup. Super handcuff, boom. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison. Everybody, Alexander Madison sucks. He got his one start early in the year when Cook went down and he blew. He sucks, Smitty. You're wrong. No, he had a bad game. What did he do? Just recently. Blew up. What do you have, 2 touchdowns and well over 100 yards in relief of the resting Dalvin Cook, and you have yourself a super handcuff in Madison. There are no better handcuffs in the entire league than Lat Murray to Kamara, Alexander Madison to Cook, Mike Davis to McCaffrey. Who am I leaving out? Tony Pollard to Zeke Elliott. There are no better handcuffs in the NFL than those guys right there. And they guarantee you production. So, I will say, looking at the top 5, top 6 overall, there is one player that doesn't have a super handcuff. Let me go back to the screen here. Christian McCaffrey, super handcuff, Mike Davis. Saquon Barkley, super handcuff. No, he does not. Gallman was okay, but no, he does not. So this guy is the first one of the top 6 that doesn't have a super handcuff. Alvin Kamara, Lat Murray, super handcuff. Derrick Henry, no super handcuff. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, super handcuff. Zeke Elliott, Tony Pollard, super handcuff. Kareem Hunt can't really be drafted as a handcuff, so this does not apply. So the only players that have tremendous risk, if you're not getting handcuffs, is Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Learn about it. Aaron Jones is leaving Green Bay probably, so Eric says. Yeah, and that would be very good for A.J. Dillon, although a guy I loved all offseason, man. I'm a year early on that mofo. But people ripped on all my A.J. Dillon content ranking, saying he's no good. If A.J. Dillon's the starter, unfortunately, he's going to get so overdrafted that you're going to have to draft that guy at an insane ADP. It's going to be crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if A.J. Dillon, if let's say Aaron Jones is gone, we know it's for sure A.J. Dillon's the starter. You watch A.J. Dillon go in the second round. It's going to get out of control to the point where it sucks because I want to own him, but I don't know that I want to own him at value he can't recover from if he has some hiccups or slow starting. It's going to be calm down time. Let's see here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or J.K. Dobbins. For right now, you got to go J.K., but I think Clyde might have something to say about that. And let's let the playoffs unfold before we rule Clyde out as a top, 18 to 36 overall player. If Clyde doesn't blow up, then we're going to have reason to be concerned that they're not using him at all. But they tend to use their running backs more in the playoffs. They've used Damian Williams that way in 2018, and then they used him a massive amount in 2019. People got all excited about Damian Williams coming into 2020, and Damian Williams opted out. They drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and the story of disappointment, even though Clyde did okay. He had a good year. He was good in yards on the ground. He was good in touchdowns, ranking in the top 10 in both when he went down. And he just wasn't used a ton in the passing game, and he was sporadic, which made it hard to start him. So I understand why people are frustrated with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But before we completely, you got to take J.K. based on momentum here and what's going on with each of these rushing attacks. And Clyde's hurt right now. But you got to, I think, be patient with Clyde. And people that want to sell him in Dynasty, go buy him. Go buy him low. Okay, guys. No posting links and trying to take people out of the live stream or you're going to get banned, Drew. So be careful. If the mods will hit you and put you in timeout, no putting links or trying to stir things up to get somebody pulled away to go do a draft while I'm in the middle of a live stream, Drew. Not acceptable, Drew.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
And Drew, if you're not doing that, I apologize. Clyde should be getting 6 targets per game, and he's not, which sucks. Absolutely true, ball is life. Drew, if you're just trying to get in the league, my bad. But if you guys are trying to mock draft, don't try to mock draft while I'm in the middle of a live stream. Okay, Clyde should be getting, 6 targets a game. Let me put that on screen here, ball is life, because I agree with that. What's up? Miles Sanders, if they use him right. I love Miles Sanders. What I don't love is Miles Sanders' situation. He was a big avoid for me in 2020 because he had a little bit of injury risk. And then you mix in the fact that staff never runs one running back, which I was told was crazy. That they were going to use him. Who else do they have? Boston Scott? Yeah, Boston Scott. Anybody. The janitor. So, if they get rid of Peterson, I'm all in on Sanders. I'm all in on everyone on that Eagles roster, basically, except for Rager. But, yeah, Sanders is going to have a big year, but they got to get rid of Peterson, which was thought to be something that was going to be impossible. But I think the rift of the locker room is too big. Swift or Gibson? I'm going to say Gibson. I like both. I worry about Swift for the same reasons I worry about Miles Sanders in his current situation with Peterson there. I feel like Detroit's capable of screwing this up. And Gibson, I just feel like he's so capable of touchdown production. Like he's just a nose for the end zone. He's a Swiss Army knife. They use him all over the field. Can't really get as game scripted out, I believe. So Yeah, I'm gonna say Gibson, but it's close and very, very arguable. All right, what's next? Hit me with some more questions. More questions. One guy, you're gonna hear me talk a lot about these rookies. I'm gonna talk a lot about these rookies here coming up here in the next few weeks. We're gonna create all kinds of rookie controversy because I'm gonna be hyping these guys up. This class has some major studs in it, and I think Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase are gonna be absolute monsters. Dylan could be a league winner. He could be a league winner for sure. But I think he could also get overdrafted. Surprise! Get to claiming. Don't sleep on Taysom Hill next year. I agree, Eric. I agree. Herbert is going to be even better next season. RT, I believe that to be true as well. I like Courtland Sutton, but he's going to be capped. What's up, Uzi? All right, let's begin the mock draft. That sucker filled out quick. I didn't even announce it. I'm on the clock. I'm going McCaffrey. See, that's what you guys in the chat talking about other drafts that you're doing. This is what happens. This is what happens. You're at sleep at the wheel talking to other people about starting a draft in my live stream, and this is what happens. Barkley number 2. J-Pot loves Barkley this year. Cook number 3. Kamara 4. Henry 5. What's 81 gonna do? Melvin Gordon, a sleeper? No. Melvin Gordon's time's done. I liked him last year, and he definitely crapped the bed. Chark I like a lot, but you got to take Chark like well outside, I think, round 5 to make a lot of sense, and he could break out from there. Sutton for I think Sutton with Judy there, it's gonna be tough for Sutton to climb. He'll be kind of capped. I like him, but Jonathan Taylor going 1.8. Devonta Adams going 1.7. Nick Chubb going 1.6. Derrick Henry 1.5. Alvin Kamara 1.4. Dalvin Cook 1.3. Mahomie. Noah taking Mahomes so early. Oh, but Noah's on auto? Why did Noah join and then go to class? Kelsey. Elliott. Carter. Carter takes Hill. Sorry, WR. Okay, I changed the setting, Noah. J-Rob and Zeke Elliott together is pretty interesting, solid option. I like Tyreek Hill and DK. Carter's got those guys at the bookends. Kelsey and who? 123 picks Hopkins. I like that. Kelsey and Hopkins is a nice stack. Noah took Mahomes on auto draft at 1.9. Nice work, Noah. I don't know why this system here has Mahomes at like number 3 overall or something. So if you auto draft, you sometimes get Mahomes there. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. Smitty, I'm going to running back for life, bro. I don't hate that. Like, if it work, if everything's equal, you know what I mean. But always go best player available, Toby. Don't go sticking to something without even like looking at the wide receiver talent. You know what I mean? Like, if you say running back for life, and you're never gonna consider like if the running backs are shaky there, like Jacobs and Eckler, who I don't like in the second round at all. And J-Rob is gone, and Taylor's gone, and Elliott's gone, and you're looking at questionable running backs, and DK's still sitting there, Hopkins. Like, why not go with those guys? Or, I personally would rather have the best scoring player than a running back, and feel like I have some advantage that now I've got to go land those other picks, or that advantage is out the window. Like, take the best player available, in my opinion, and score the most amount of points. Mike Thomas, for example, is a great pick. Like, 1985 at the 4 spot, Kamara, Mike Thomas. Like, that's what 2021 is going to bring you, the opportunity to have a player you shouldn't have at 2.9. Like, that's insane. Mike Thomas to pair with Kamara? That's sick. That's nasty. That's disgusting. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm on the clock here. Man, not a lot left. What happened? We're at the bookend picks of the second and third round. I kind of have to just make a pick, or I'm going to time out. So I went a little early on AJ Brown, but I don't mind that. I mean, he definitely can earn that. Running backs are thin as heck, man. I could go David Montgomery here. Let's just see how that looks. I don't know if I love that. That, you guys are a bunch of snipers, man. I feel like that's the thinnest I've ever seen the 1.1 at that second and third round turn. Like, it was thin as hell, man. You guys are crazy. I like getting running backs early just because you can get wide receiver. Yeah, but dude, Steven, that I understand what you're saying, and it makes sense, but you could argue the flip side of that easily. Like, I could counterpoint every point everyone makes about any draft strategy, because the point is there are 100,000 different ways to win. If it was as easy as you draft running back, and you win, then everybody would do that. But you could say that the wide receivers are deeper, so you want to go running back, but you could also say that wide receivers are more consistent, and you could also say that wide receivers like Adams and MT and DK, these guys are going to be more locks than a running back. And last year's a bad example for a lot of players busting, but I think you could say that if you are good at getting like the David Montgomerys in the third and fourth round this year that could be top 5 next year, or the James Robinsons from last year, if you can get those guys in the third and fourth round this year, then it's to your advantage to do wide receiver early drafting. So it all kind of comes down to your skill set, you know what I mean? If you can't land running backs, or if you think running backs will go quick in your league, then it's understandable why you might go running back early. Like a Gaskin, for example, a Montgomery. Like, you could take those guys in. You could take a Montgomery, you could take a Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you could take a Joe Mixon in the late third, or a Gibson, and Gibson and Montgomery could be just as good as any duo running back crew in your fantasy football league, and you only have to spend third round picks on those guys. So, like, let's say you trade your fourth rounder into the third, you take Monty and Gibson in the third round, you take Adams and Mike Thomas in the first and second round, you have an absolute monster of a team. But yeah, best player available is my advice. If you want to lean running back more so, that's all good, bro. Yeah, it also depends, Steven, where you're at in your draft, but Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Cam Akers, and DeAndre Swift at the end at the 1.12 pick. Elliott, James Robinson, Julio, Mike Evans at the 1.11, not too bad. Kelsey, Hopkins, Carson, and Sanders at the 1.10. Noah's got Mahomes at 1.9 on the timeout. Then Diggs and Keenan Allen. Let's see what running back he pairs with that crew there, because he's got no running backs left. He takes David Johnson. Noah, you've drafted better teams than that. You should be in class right now, Noah. Not wasting your time on this team. I like Diggs, though. I like Allen. I like your top 3 picks, but Taylor, Eckler. I smell bacon. I smell bacon in the studio. Oh, Miss Smitty's cooking bacon. Oh. It's 5 o'clock too. As you can be saying, hey, it's 7 o'clock Eastern. It's 5 o'clock my time. That's bacon. I'm getting bacon. I'm gonna go take a photo of this. Hold on. Or actually, I'll take a video of it and then we'll put it on. You guys keep draft. Oh, I got a draft here. I'm gonna go see if there's bacon out there. I smell bacon. I smell breakfast. I'm on deck with my back-to-backs. Of course, Drake went. Thanks a lot. Okay, we'll go Godwin. And we'll go... I could go Kareem Hunt here. It's not a bad team. All right, I'm gonna go take a video of my food. I'm pretty confident I smell bacon. Yeah, we got bacon. We got bacon. We got sandwiches, bacon sandwiches being cooked. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddies. I'm hungry too. Toby, Smitty just messaged you. Okay, Toby, where'd you message me at? Love the team, to be honest. I like my team. Where's my team? I've got McCaffrey, AJ Brown, David Montgomery, Godwin, Kareem Hunt. I'd be okay with that. Barkley, Calvin, Kittle, Kenyon Drake, Deshaun, Dalvin, Waller, Justin Jefferson, Wilson, Amari. From the 1.4, Kamara, Mike Thomas, Clyde, Lamar, Galladay. Best team of the draft. I have to anoint it to 1985. Kamara, Mike Thomas has no business being drafted in the late second round. Kamara, Mike Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is his big risk. Okay, that's a big risk there. 1985. It's a risk worth taking because you backed it up with a whole bunch of amazing other picks that you got there. Lamar was a good pick in the 4th round. Kenny Galladay, very, very good bounce back pick. Absolutely love 1985. That's Elgin's team. Best team in this draft. Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Josh Allen, McLaurin, Gaskin. I kind of like that, Klein. I like that draft. Yeah, those are my favorite. I think those are my favorite teams. I'm looking at everybody else's roster. Not that everybody didn't do well. Barkley, Ridley, Kittle, Drake, Deshaun's not bad. Cook, Waller, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper. I like that team. It's Elgin, the 1.4. This is your winner right here. This is your top team. I will say I feel like my team's second best, but I can admit when I don't have the best team. This is the best team. This is the second best team, I think. But the one spot's easier to do that with, so, you know, I had a little bit of an advantage being in that draft slot. I think the 1.1 and 1.2 are gold in 2021. I think I'm going to find more players available typically at the 2.12 and 3.1 than when I'm drafting with you sharks who snipe everybody from me. That's going to do it. Thank you for watching the Fantasy Football Show. I'm your man Smitty. Subscribe if you are new to the show. Hit the like. And everybody says, how can I ask you questions? How can I ask you questions? When I publish the video right now, it will post to YouTube with the live chat. And we have, I think, somebody comment real quick, and I'll tell you how many comments we have. Drop a comment. The video will start. It usually tells me. I don't know, my system's acting weird. But we have 1,500 comments, something like that. 1,500 comments in this chat. That'll all be available in the live chat. But guess what starts out with 0 comments? The chat attached, the comment area attached to the video once it publishes for replay purposes. You can ask me a question in the comments, and guess what? It helps my channel. So it's in my best interest to answer your question. So why aren't you all asking more questions? When the video posts, I want questions and I'm going to answer them. It might take me all night, but I'm going to answer every one of them that you post tonight. Almost guaranteed. So I'm going to go check the comments once this posts. I'm going to eat first, so there might be a little delay, and then I'll check the comments area. I appreciate you all. Get on over to smitty1.com is my new website right here. Let me show you. That kind of is the place you can find all my content at. Okay, so here's my YouTube channel. There's my football content, my rankings, bold predictions at sleeperu.com. This is my Discord if you want to join my free Discord. This is if you want to ask me a question via phone, you want me to draft with you, you can order me drafting with you. You can do all that through the Ask Smitty. Here's my most recent show. Will always be right here. Smitty1 is the place to really absorb everything Smitty. And then, of course, get on over to my newswire and consume your news with me. You hear me? I will see you soon. And know what? It takes you 3 to 5 days to get your homework done and to report to class, bro. All right.